you kind of responded with gratitude kind of for the players and the coaches. That even though this comes in a loss, do you have that similar sense of that fight, or is it still kind of too soon and too raw after the loss?
I think when the season ends, there's always, I would say, a whirlwind of emotions. Certainly feeling a sense of gratitude for our players, the Lakers, our fan base. Really like that, you've seen these 3-0 games before, and I thought there were two different times during the game where our team could have gave in, could have let go of the rope. We didn't. I thought the crowd was awesome tonight, and I've been part of these on both sides where it's a 3-0 and you're playing on the road or you're playing at home, and the crowd can just not be great. And the crowd was awesome tonight. Our fans are awesome. Gratitude. Yeah.
You're playing the defending champs, and we spoke to you and your group about championship all year long. What's the gap between your group and a championship group?
That's what we got to figure out this offseason. I will say, for the things that we set out to do and build our championship habits and build our championship communication and championship shape, I thought we were darn close to doing that. And it doesn't mean you're going to win a championship, but I take a lot of pride in our players and what they all individually went through, what we collectively went through, and what we turned out to be. You don't know on day one of training camp what you're going to turn out to be, and just proud of who we are.
JJ, you spoke a lot this year about the human element. This team has a lot of people that are going to be free agents next year. Obviously, like, the likelihood that this group in total will be intact is low. How did you just think your team navigated all of that this year in total, like the human stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it was I think for everybody involved, that's the part of it that is human, is that there is highs and lows and frustrations and moments of triumph and joy and belief and doubt. It's just you're one game, you're one quarter, you're one play away from supreme confidence or a little bit of doubt creeping in. I think Rory said it one time. He said, when you're playing bad, it can seem so far away, and then when you're playing good, how did I ever think that it was that far away? And I think for our team, like, we went through every single thing this year, stayed together, and I think hopefully put a team out that our fans can celebrate, not in the way that we all want to celebrate, certainly.
JJ, what was it about this game and that moment that makes you so emotional, and about playing this game makes people so emotional when you lose a series like this?
I told the team this. This is my 17th year being part of an NBA team, and I've always looked at every team I've been a part of, every team I've been on, as a living organism. And I've maybe talked about this once before. And during the course of a season, sometimes that organism is healthy and thriving, and sometimes that organism can get the flu, and sometimes that organism can get really sick. Now, we experience all of that this year. When the season ends, that organism is dead, and that organism will never live again. I mean, you bring up the free agent thing. Sometimes you might have one or two of those guys, and we have half our team. I'm like I'm a little white kid from the sticks in Virginia, and I get to do this. That's why it's emotional, because I care more than I mean, I hate to say this about my family, but I care as much about this as anything. No, I love my wife and kids, but it is. That's why. It's just I didn't want our season to end. I wanted to keep this thing going. I enjoyed every bit of this year.
JJ, you've talked about kind of celebrating small wins throughout this season. Obviously, you would like to be celebrating a different win tonight. But when you are processing the season right now, even though it's still so raw, like what are some of the small wins that you think you can celebrate heading into the future for this organization?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a lot of guys that had great individual seasons. I think anytime you can win 50 games, anytime you can be get home court in the first round, I think one of the biggest wins for us, and I talked all the time towards the end of the season and in the playoffs about our resiliency. I think one of the biggest wins for us is the multiple times throughout the regular season and the multiple times towards the end of the regular season with the injuries and during the playoffs where we could have just laid down. Tonight would have been an easy night for us to lay down. And I don't know who the F came up with moral victories. I don't even know what that phrase means. I don't believe in it. But I look at all the small wins along the way as part of the journey. And for each of these guys, it's part of their journey this season. And for each of my coaches, it's part of our journey. For Lakers fans who maybe this is their second year because Luka got traded, this is part of their fandom. And it's just part of it.
JJ, you had mentioned, I think, after you guys lost to Phoenix and Orlando after the All-Star break, that you were still searching for this team's identity. When you look at the way they fought tonight and throughout the series, what do you think that identity ended up being?
I think it ended up being a really hard-playing team, a really together team, and a team with a lot of heart.
Hey, JJ, obviously LeBron is uncertain about his future. Has that part of this hit you yet, that this could be goodbye to him?
I haven't even thought about that, and again, we'll deal with the off-season in the off-season, which is the next 2 months.
JJ, when you're just thinking about how close or how far you are, how important is continuity?
All right, JJ Redick, after the Lakers get eliminated by the Thunder in 4 games. Guys, I'm looking at this box score, and Oklahoma City shoots 52%, Lakers shoot 51%. Both teams about 36% from 3, free throws pretty much even, but you get to turnovers. Lakers had 19, led to 22 Oklahoma City points. I mean, if you turn the ball over against them, you're going to pay for it, and they did.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I think that's the key to the game right there. Like, you got to try to get a shot at the basket every time down, especially against a team like OKC who favors off scoring off turnovers. And 22 points off turnovers in an elimination game is hard to win those games. So, like, I think that's everything else was even, and that was the factor right there where they had more possessions than the Lakers.
And then A.J. Mitchell, Rudy, I mean, they're missing an all-star in Jalen Williams, and they don't miss a beat because of A.J. Mitchell.
I don't know what's going out there in Oklahoma, but they always have somebody to step up and fill a role. Like Mark Daigneault is doing a great job of promoting players and getting them in the right position. But at the end of the day, you can't turn the ball over against this team. You have to play this team right. They have so many people that can put the ball in the hole, and you have, a two-time, well, possibly a two-time MVP that can, score the ball at, a historical clip. So it's like, you can't give them more chances at the basket. A.J. Mitchell is a guy that's trying to prove himself and has been doing, a heck of a job trying to figure out things, especially at this portion in the season. Like, we're in playoffs, we're in the second round of playoffs, and he's playing this well. But, you can't give them more chances at the basket than they already have.
Mark Daigneault's team so far 8 up, 8 down, halfway to a second straight championship. The Thunder coach at the podium right now. Let's listen to his post-game thoughts.
UConn.
Just off the top, I want to acknowledge the Lakers and congratulate them on it.